What's up, world? I'm determined black man John Jay, and as usual, I'm determined to reach at least someone that's listening to the sounds of my voice, if not each and every one of you all. On today, we're going to be taking a look at the pros and the cons of affirmative action, and we're going to assess the removal for potential benefits. Right, we're going to look at something that a lot of people ain't talking about, y'all. It's a very heavy subject that I feel like should have been top of the food chart. Top of the food chart when it come down to dissecting and unboxing and unveiling some of the things that are essential, really. Like, we need to know this type of stuff. This is good food for thought. Like, I ain't heard too many people talk. I know a couple people that's on YouTube that's sharing their thoughts about it. But for the masses, I think that we've been distracted by the submarine, the submarine vessel that went missing or whatever, that imploding vessel. A lot of y'all got distracted with the conversation about what's her face, the young lady from A Killer Bee. It'll come to me in a minute. But a lot of y'all done got distracted with her and her old man, boyfriend, baby daddy, husband, whatever be the case. In my opinion, the only thing I really see wrong with it, and it's a certain level of, excuse my language, but bitch assness. But this is the current trend. This is society right now as a whole. Like, people don't even text you back faster than they're responding to you on social media sites. So I can't understand a man that's of his age and their caliber, like, knowing that they're in the spotlight all the time, that you really can't get your woman attention. Keke Palmer, that's her name. You really can't get her attention until you put it out there to the masses. You put it out there to the masses and social media gets a chance to respond, and then she started getting all these inboxes and messages from her PR team and all this and that. Then that's how you actually get a response from her. Because I feel like in an ordinary sense, if he had to just step to her with that, then she would have looked at him like, boy, you crazy. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think it was a certain level of bitch assness about it for him to actually step outside of the household and bring this out to the world. But I do kind of understand the reasoning behind it, because I do understand that today, how people today think. Like this is controlling people's lives. And I ain't saying it's right. I'm just saying this is why. I mean, one thing leads to another. This is why these type of things are happening. But let's get back to the original message. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's something deeper than a man being in his emotions. Ain't nothing wrong with a man being in his emotions, right? Because I remember when I was growing up, we had songs that would say stuff like emotions make you cry sometimes. Yeah, and there was a group of guys singing that song. So you can't tell me that guys ain't supposed to be in their feelings sometimes. But the thing is, a lot of you guys then got so engulfed in your feminist emotions. You got so engulfed and so enwrapped in it, and ain't nobody that slapped your ass and told you, bro, look, don't nobody care. Nobody care but you, man. So sometimes you have to display that same tenacity. You gotta show that same poker face back to these people, man. That even though if you care, sometimes you just can't show them that you care. And I hate to say that, because I know that even from a personal standpoint, that mentally can be challenging. It takes a strong individual, especially when you know something ain't right, for you to bite your tongue, or you to sit back and allow someone that you love and care for, you know what I'm saying, the mother of your child or your children, or your baby daddy or whatever, you know what I'm saying, the father of your children, you watch them do something that you know is detrimental to their own health, and as well as your relationship, and as a mother or father. Because eventually somebody might bring this back up 10 years down the road, asking that, might bring this back to their children's attention. And then here goes a whole nother can of worms you gotta answer a lot of questions for. So I can't understand from a man's perspective where he was coming from. And as a father, an involved father, a caring father, and one that understands the current trends and how things go in this world, but especially here in the United States, like things are just based on perception and not reality. And so, as a mother, you know what I'm saying, a new mother at that, like Keke Palmer just had this baby less than 5 months ago. She really still in her healing process. She should be still bonding as well. So being at a Usher concert to me signifies that I think this is her first child, so that's probably the case. She going through this little, you know what I'm saying, postpartum type thing where they still want to feel like young and single and want to mingle and stuff, but don't realize that now I'm a mother, you know what I'm saying, life change. You going through that transition. So I ain't mad at her either, because she's still a young lady, and she's been in the spotlight pretty much most of her life, and so she don't really have a touch with reality as you would think that she does, you know what I'm saying, even though she plays some hell of a roles, and would lead you to think that, you know, she's a down to earth and would be able to, you would be able to embrace, she would be easily embracive of a man telling her that he respects her enough to say, well, baby, I don't want you going out showing all your butt cheeks to everybody, especially known womanizers. You know what I'm saying? Like, actually being on display is one thing, but being chosen, handpicked out of a crowd, you know what I'm saying, like by a known womanizer. No disrespect to Usher, but it is what it is. Like, I ain't finna sit here and cut no corners about it. Everybody know this from our community. Anybody from the black community that's been alive for the last 35-40 years pretty much know who Usher is and know what his, you know, calling cards are. So for all of you Usher fanatics, please don't beat me up, don't report me or none of that stuff there. I'm just stating facts. The bigger picture is that as a mother, you should want to present yourself differently, even though if there's something that she been used to doing. See, I seen a lot of the comments. I read a lot of comments that's saying things like, well, that's how she been, or she been dressing like that, and da 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 da. See, that just shows me that a lot of y'all are content with not elevating. A lot of y'all okay with being stuck in the same position, the same rut, or the same mentality, the same type of motion. Y'all want the same motion for the rest of your life? I see too many of y'all 45 and 50 and 60 years old is still trying to act like 30 and 40. And it's okay that we age gracefully, because I'm thanking God every day for it. I praise God for graceful aging, but at the same time, I still know my age. And when it's time for me to act it, I act it. I know who I am. I don't have to try to get along, you know, do what everybody else is doing basically to get along with everybody. Because at the end of the day, I'm not serving everybody. I'm not loving everybody. I'm not, you know what I'm saying, I'm loving everybody, but I'm not loving on everybody. I'm not making myself subject to everyone. Only thing I'm trying to do is promote a more healthier mentality and help us develop as a culture, as a people, black people. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't entirely just black. I'm black first. You know what I'm saying? I'm like Malcolm after his his trip to Mecca. You know, like when your eyes get open, you know, you realize it ain't all just black. Like I'm just black. You know what I'm saying? But it's my people first, because first of all, this is my people, and from which I come. So I know no other people greater than I know my people. And that's why I feel like nobody can teach our people like our people. And that's why it's imperative that people that have been through the struggles of life, people that have had many challenges, those that have been challenged often. Because see, God gives us these abilities to overcome for a reason. And a lot of times we don't express them to the world, because a lot of us, we hold shame for some of the things that we've been through, rather than allowing that thing be the thing that helps everybody else elevate, everybody else avoid trouble. You know what I'm saying? When you already know the trouble that's in the water, then you can alert other people so that they don't have to go through those troubled waters. They don't have to go down in that sunken ship. You understand what I'm saying? So anyway, let's get back to the pros and cons of affirmative action, and let's assess the removal thereof, and who stands to benefit and who stands to lose the most from it. So affirmative action has been a topic of significant debate for decades, and the recent decision by Congress to remove it presents both potential benefits and concerns. This report will analyze the pros and cons of affirmative action and discuss who may stand to benefit the most from its removal. Furthermore, we will provide a historical overview of the policies and evaluate statistical information regarding those who have benefited from it and potential impact of its abolition. Affirmative action, initially introduced in 1960 as an executive order by President John F. Kennedy and later expanded by President Lyndon B. Johnson, aimed to address historical inequalities and discrimination faced by minority groups, particularly African Americans and women. The policy mandated equal employment opportunities, education access, and government contracts for historically disadvantaged groups. I want y'all to pay a special attention and make a special note of the government contracts for historically disadvantaged groups. Make a special note and pay special attention to the end government contracts for historically disadvantaged groups, because that is a instrumental, a pivotal part of creating generational wealth. Like I'm willing to bet you top dollar that we don't have none of these contracts. Like, I mean, on a small scale we may do, but I mean, I'm willing to bet that we don't possess more than 5% of these contracts annually as black people. I can guarantee you that the numbers are disproportionate. And that is because we don't realize the importance of government contracts and how beneficial they are, and how much wealth can be obtained in the course of 1 year. But let's just think in terms of 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140, and we can go on and on how many years that other groups of people have been benefiting from these contracts that you had no idea. A lot of y'all had no idea. You know why? Because though that policy stated that it was a mandation for equal employment opportunities and education access, because a lot of us think that we're gonna get that good job that we want. We're gonna land that opportunity that we our hearts so desire, that we done went to school for 18 years. Even if you were granted the access to the education, which in a lot of cases you weren't, not to the higher institutions, as they call the Ivy Leagues, the Ivy League. Those are predominantly white schools. No, the ones that come with the high accolades. Yeah, you know, the one you could just put on your paper and you don't even got to fill out the rest of the application. You hired. Yeah, we didn't have it. We don't, and we still don't have, and we didn't have access to that. So definitely would classify us as being historically the most disadvantaged group of people on planet Earth. So anyway, I just wanted y'all to make notation of that. We'll dive into it a little bit further on another segment. So anyway, let me give y'all two pros of affirmative action. Two of the good things about affirmative action. Number one, addressing systemic inequalities. Affirmative action provided a necessary corrective measure to historically discriminatory practices by promoting diversity and inclusion in educational institutions and workplaces. Number two, enhancing diversity and cultural understanding. The policy has contributed to creating diverse environments that foster broader perspectives, improve critical thinking, and promote cultural understanding. Those are the pros, y'all. Number one, addressing systemic inequalities, and number two, enhancing diversity and cultural understanding. And here's three of the cons, three of the reasons why this affirmative action may not have been everything that it says that it's cracked up to be. And that's because one, reverse discrimination. Critics argue that affirmative action can create reverse discrimination and unfairly disadvantage certain individuals based on race or gender, contradicting the principles of meritocracy. Number two, stigmatization and tokenism. Some also argue that affirmative action can stigmatize beneficiaries, making it difficult to determine if their achievements are based on merit or favoritism. And number three, perpetuating stereotypes. Critics also say and also contend that affirmative action feeds into the stereotypes by assuming that certain minority group require additional support, potentially reinforcing negative biases. You know? So basically what it's saying is that affirmative action can also make it look like we are the recessor. And it can create such a crutch for us that we become actually that we are. You know what I'm saying? You become what you think. And when you think that you can't do no better, then you just don't do no better. And you become like a victim. You know, you start adopting the victim mentality. And you just look for handouts. So in a certain sense, affirmative action, according to some people, is not good for black people as well. But I can argue both sides because I really don't like when people use the term merit, because a lot of times they think that they get things because of merit, but it's not. It's still a privilege. It's still privilege and favoritism. You know? So either way, I think it just need to be some more policies put in place, to be honest with you. And I think they just need to cut the checks. And our leaders need to step up and make it right. Lead us in the right direction. Teach our people. Create avenues and lanes that we have never created before. We are some of the most ingenious people on earth. History tells us that. You can fact check that, or you can truth check it. It ain't nothing that done stopped us. So what can stop us now other than ourselves? You can do it, my brother, my sister. You can do it. Whatever it is that you set your heart out to do, whatever you put in your mind that you want to do and you want to accomplish, tell yourself, affirm yourself. You don't need nobody else to keep telling you can do it. You can do it. You got to believe, and you will achieve. So let's look at the beneficiaries of affirmative action. Historically, affirmative action primarily aimed to address racial disparities faced by African Americans. However, Over time, the policies has been expanded to encompass other minority groups and women. And here's some of the statistical data. Number one, higher education admissions. According to data from the National Center for Education Statistics, African Americans and Hispanics have seen increased representation in colleges and universities since the implementation of affirmative action. Women have also achieved greater parity with men in higher education enrollment. Number two, employment and corporate diversity. Several studies have shown that affirmative action has contributed to the improved representation and opportunities for women and minority groups in the workforce to some degrees, some varying degrees. Now let's look at who stands to benefit the most from the removal. While the impact of removing affirmative action could vary, those who argue in favor of its abolition suggest that the following groups may benefit. Number one, individuals traditionally disadvantaged by affirmative action. Removing the policy could potentially eliminate perceived reverse discrimination against certain individuals, especially white males. It says that that's number one. Individuals traditionally disadvantaged by affirmative action. Removing the policy could potentially eliminate perceived reverse discrimination against certain individuals, especially white males. Now, see, that's why I have a problem. Because, I mean, once again, if you ain't been living under a rock for the last 400 or 500 years, then you know that a white man ain't had no disadvantages, especially in America. So the last person that we need to be trying to save, excuse me, and I'm sorry if I'm stepping on anybody's toes the wrong way, but I know I'm right when I say, if it's anybody's toes or anybody who needs to feel the wrath of his own medicine, okay, that's all I'm gonna say. And this ain't no type of hate speech. This ain't me trying to incite no type of violence at all. I'm just saying, why is it always, when it comes down to black people and our disparities, our shortcomings, when we start speaking up, we start waking up, we start asking questions about some of these policies, the first thing they do is bring up how these policies actually discriminate against another race of people. When in fact, those same policies, if we look at them and we actually start dissecting and breaking them down, a lot of those policies are really hypocritical. Like, they don't really benefit the people that they say they benefit. And this has been employed in America since America's been America. It's always been a way with the words. It's always been a way with the words, in the way that they notate things, keep you all balanced. Anyway, yeah, I'm just not in agreement with number one. But number two, it says as far as who stands to benefit the most from the removal. Number two, supporters of merit-based selection. Those who advocate for a purely merit-based selection process see the removal of affirmative action as a step towards achieving equal opportunities for all. Excuse me. Now, see, that I have a problem with as well. Why? Okay, it should be a merit-based system, but based off the fact that we, the most disadvantaged group, that has been the most disadvantaged group for hundreds of years now, we don't have the same potential for merit because we haven't had the same potential or the same opportunity for merit over the last 400 or 500 years. So if my people haven't had the chance to get into the schools, the Ivy League schools, we only make up a small proportion of the people that's getting into these schools each year, right? You got to create these laws just to say, well, okay, we can put one of y'all in there for every 1,000, and that'll make, if we got 50,000 students, then that means, we got 50 blacks on campus. So we qualify for all the affirmative action grants and monies and benefits from bringing, minorities to our school, that we don't think that'll actually prevail. It's not our intentions or their intention. I'm speaking in third party. But I don't like it because, for one, our culture hasn't been gearing our kids up properly anyway for school. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't have college funds where I'm from. When you turn 18, they kicking your ass out until you get it how you live. So we had a very disproportionate disadvantage already. So for you to tell me that I gotta qualify by the same magnitude as this white man, that his a white boy or girl whose parents have been generating generational wealth for hundreds of years now, and he has all the college funds and all of the financial literacy. He has already established credit by the time that he's left and gone off to college. He's been taught how to establish himself as a man because of these advantages that he has already been allotted. And I mean, let's just be honest. 90% of that or more came off the backs of blacks. Somewhere down the line, if you look at most of these huge corporations, they profited off of colonization. They profited off of slavery. They profited off of free labor. And they continue to, because if you look at a lot of these private owned prisons, they're owned by some of the same corporations. And some of the same corporations right now that encourage things that's going to put our children in jail, just hand walk them in. Like they don't even know the wiles they up against and the evils and the things that's been put in place strategically to capture their minds and to lead them into a lake of doom. That's from the music industry to the movie industry and all the media world mostly. Ain't nothing but the devil, y'all. Telling lies, television, telephone, cellophone, hellophone. So that's another one. I don't agree with that one. I don't agree with that one because we already at a disadvantage as far as merit is concerned. We won't be able to compete. We already can't compete. So we definitely wouldn't be able to be accepted into these higher learning institutions because if it was based off merit, because a lot of us don't have the merit, and it's because of the other disparities that can be taken into account when there is affirmative action. With affirmative action. So number 3, critics of perceived preferential treatment. Those who believe that affirmative action leads to tokenism or perpetuates stereotypes may see its removal as promoting a more equal and fair system. Only somebody that feel like that primarily is gonna be a white man. And like I say, let me get back to it and let y'all know where I stand. I am not racist. I am not against every white person. I am for all of my people. I am for all the black people. Black people first. That's what I stand for. I won't go for no racist conversation, no type of comments in the comment section. Please don't come here with that. From neither party, black or white, whatever be your race. I'm just being honest. And if you're being honest with yourself, then you know that I'm being honest. So in conclusion, the removal of affirmative action has both advantages and disadvantages. While it may address concerns of perceived reverse discrimination, it also risks rolling back progress in promoting diversity and equal opportunity. It is crucial to consider alternative measures to address systemic inequalities while ensuring a fair and inclusive society for all. So basically, it's time to create a more fair society, y'all. In asking a group of people that has already shown their hand to be the ones to spearhead a movement on our behalf, it's ludicrous. Like really, I mean really. Like it's like we sitting back waiting on the very system that has oppressed us for hundreds of years to have a change of heart. Look, it's like a woman when she fed up, man. Ain't no coming back. I'm not finna give these jokers no type of leeway, no type of head space in my head. I'm not finna let them rent space in my head for free. So, as I said before, I'm gonna continue to say, and I'm gonna leave this out there and I'm gonna leave y'all. Pay me my money. Pay me my money. Pay me my money. And also let's sit down and let's create some policies and let's put some programs in place that can help build us up so that we can be more competitive. I know it's no way for us to catch up. Only through the miraculous hand of God, which I do firmly believe in. So let me bag that up. There is a way, but only through the miraculous hand of God. Because this certain group of people has had hundreds of years of running this race to get ahead before we even got a crack at it. Like really and truthfully, black people really just getting a real crack at billionaire status. But the sad thing about it is, out of probably 2,500 billionaires in America, billionaires in the world, you could probably take a wild guess of how many of them are black. I want to say the last time I checked, it was less than 15. Last I checked, it was less than 15. Out of that 25 to 2,700 billionaires in the world, less than 15 were black. So you tell me, what's the odds of us actually ever catching up financially, monetarily? What's the chances of us ever catching up with the white folks? Let's just be honest. Let's be real. So I'm not even trying to go there, because they didn't put systems in place to protect their wealth. So the only way I could feel that we would ever have a chance to catch their wealth is for us to actually obtain their wealth, when they have created all the systems and put all the laws and they know all the loopholes every which way. Then it's gonna, I mean, when you done made the rules for the game, you made the game and you made the rules for the game. I mean, it's almost impossible to beat you at your own game. But all I'm pushing for is a equal opportunity from this point on. Let's even the playing field from this point on. Provide me with the resources I need so I can be able to build my people up. Give my people the opportunities. We want some of those government contracts that y'all been generating billions of dollars per year off of, to help build your family wealth. Let us get started. Let us get a chance. So that we can start to measure up. We know we can never quite measure up, but at least give us a start. And we not begging, we not crying. We demanding. We demanding that the opportunity be granted for those that deserve it. Black people have been the most disadvantaged, the most disinhumanized, the most disenfranchised, the most hated group of people ever to touch planet Earth. Every other race of people can get policy. Every other race of people can get funded. Every other race of people can get the truth about their culture and know where they come from and know everything they really, why they feel the way they feel and what's going on. We're the only ones that have been erased. It has been attempted to erase our entire history, and it continues to be. And they continue to try to strip away our culture, take away our ability to reproduce, because we keep falling for all these different political traps that we think that's in our favor, because we Democrats, and the Democrats doing this or said that, and we Republican and we did. I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna say this loud. I'm gonna leave it at that. We need to start our own parties. No red or no blue ain't for you when it come down to politics. And that's just what it is. It's all a trick bag. And we gotta get tired of falling for that same old trick over and over and over and over again. When y'all claim this ain't your first rodeo. Well, you could have fooled me, because your ass can't even ride a Shetland pony. Yeah, you can't even ride a Shetland pony. But you claim this ain't your first rodeo. I think I'm gonna get some of y'all a stick horse. Let you start back over from there. Get out here and let's promote education. Let's promote financial literacy. Let's promote democracy, true democracy. Let's promote true freedom. Let's promote true unity. Let's promote true development and growth. Child care. It ain't just about sticking a diaper on a baby or sticking a bottle in their mouth. Don't you know that's when it started? That when the seed is small, is when it needs its most care. When it's small, it needs its most care. That's when you gotta tend to it the most. Once it get up and it start blooming, it'll capture its own sun. Then just a little crack of light, just a little bit of rain. But it's in the beginning when it's at its most growth. When it's having its most growth, that's when it go through the most growth process. And it needs the most nutrition and caring for. We gotta care for our young people, y'all. We gotta get to our young people, because a lot of these old riding fruit, they non-productive anyway. They already in riding, and it ain't no saving them. A lot of them. You know how some of the fruit you can cut a little piece off of and you can eat around it. Well, if you see that be the case, then yeah, we give it opportunity. We grant it opportunity. But for the most part, we got to get some of this fresh fruit that ain't hit the ground yet before it hit the ground. Let's train them up right, y'all. Let's teach these young men how to be real men so that they can set great examples for their daughters and their sons. The reason why I always speak about a father and his daughters first is because it's a special bond that's created between a father and his daughter. And when that bond is lacking, that daughter tends to go astray. And what she looks for is something that resembles even the lack of her father, the father that she lacked. And that's why a lot of these young ladies out here don't mind calling another young man they daddy. Or let's say it more appropriately for 2023, they zaddy. A lot of them don't mind calling another man they zaddy. Why? Because it was something that she lacked when she was going through the process of needing it most. And so for the rest of her life, or until she actually becomes awoke or awakened, that is still a part of her life that is void and noise, and so she needs what she needs. She needs her zaddy. She needs a daddy. So don't be so puzzled when your daughters run around out here chasing different guys. And letting everything get between her thighs. Don't be surprised when she think that she can pay for everything with her body. We have to set the tone, y'all. As men, we got to set the tone for our children. And we got to set the tone for our women as well. We say we want to be the head, then we got to be real leaders. And it starts with us setting the examples. It ain't no time for us hollering about do as I say and not as I do. It's time for us to do. And honestly, naturally, if it's something that needs to be led by you, it'll fall in line. When it knows that you heading in the right direction, it'll fall in line. And if not, then it just need to be left by the wayside anyway. It wasn't meant to go on this journey. Its mission is somewhere else. Its destination is somewhere else. Don't be afraid to let it go. Anyway, I just wanted to see if any of you all had any concerns about the recent abolishment of affirmative action. Like, I got mixed feelings about it because I know that it was created for a reason. And now I think that it's being removed for a reason. So I think that both ways, I think that I'm not sure if when it was created, was it created with these intentions? To crutch us and have us dependent on something and then all of a sudden snatch the rug out from up under you? Was it created with those intentions? Could have been. I'm not sure. Jump in the comment section. Let me know how you feel. What you think. Give me your opinion. Your honest opinion. And if you like the subject matter that we're talking about right now, please hit the like button. If you hadn't already subscribed to the channel, subscribe. It's free. It don't cost you nothing, but it is good for me. We trying to build this channel up, not just for the profitability side, but we do need profit, y'all. I can't sit here and lie. That's why I create the merch. And I hope that you all would visit the merch store. Grab some of the products, some of the items out of the merch store, you know. I ain't just asking for a donation. We actually got tangible things you can obtain. And not only just things, but specialty items with designs that have been designed by me, myself, and I. Your great brother, a determined black man, John J. Not only that, make sure you check out the website at www.adbm State of Mind. That's www.adbm State of Mind. That's the abbreviation for a determined black man state of mind. Check out the website. Go on there and click that link, the button that says for keys to your freedom. It'll take you to my author's page, and every time that I release a new book to Amazon, you'll find it there. Y'all make sure y'all follow my Amazon author page, and feel free to pick up either one of those books. The latest release, it's going to be called A New Jim Crow, Devastating Black Lives. And it's talking in reference about the prison industrial complex, excuse me. And make sure you check out The New Jim Crow, Devastating Black Lives by John J on Amazon. Delving into the must read. And y'all make sure y'all check out The New Jim Crow, Devastating Black Lives on Amazon.com. Now make sure y'all check out the new Jim Crow, Devastating Black Lives by John Jay on Amazon.com. It's a must read. We delved into the prison industrial complex and its association between the government and corporations. It's a must read, y'all. Breaking the system down to y'all in layman's terms and giving y'all a great depiction of what's up ahead for our children and all youth. Stop being selfish, y'all. Stop thinking about your kids. You put your kids in private school, good. But the fact is that no matter how well you treat your kids, no matter what type of education you provide your kids with, what type of lifestyle you provide them with, when they go to that football game, or they go to that basketball game, or they go to this club that they like to go to, then they gonna be in there with the same people that you don't like. Those kids that's shooting up everything. Remember that. Because a lot of times we get so wrapped up in, I'm doing everything right for mine. I'm sending mine to private school. I'm doing this and I'm doing that. But you forget that when they get back out here in society, they still got to mingle amongst society. And most of these young people in society don't have the same opportunity that you providing your child with. They still lurking. They still out here. They still doing what they do. They still popping iron. They still piping shit down. You know what I'm saying? So don't be surprised when your innocent little Johnny, your innocent little Kiki, whoever be the case, get hit. Because it's happening. Innocent lives are being taken. Because we're not collectively raising these kids the way that we supposed to. Yeah, that's my children in the background. If you hear them, if any of y'all hear them on this video, it is a Sunday afternoon. I am spending time with my children as usual. There's nothing new. My boys and my girls. I devote my time to my kids because I know I missed a lot of time with some of my older kids that I can't get back, for one. And I missed it, and it hurts me dearly. And then two, I just understand the time and day that we face with today. You know what I'm saying? Our children, they in dire need of leadership. They in dire need of a real man. They need somebody to teach them and lead them in the right way, because a lot of these black mamas ain't teaching them the right way. And a mom, I'm just gonna be honest, a mama can't teach a son or a daughter the same way a dad can or a father can. We all play our different roles. And when you understand that, you understand. When you know, you know. So it take both of them. And especially if there's a chance, there's an opportunity for that, why not get that chance to that child? We so damn selfish, you know what I'm saying? Everybody want to be happy and pleased and pleasured, like it's all about us. But we start making these kids, and then it's, well, we ain't supposed to just work it out for the kids. It's supposed to be about happiness for all of us, you know what I'm saying? But you forgot. You knew that before you laid down and made that twat get hot. You knew that. So now, I'm not saying in every case to stick it out just for the kids. But I think in a lot of cases, we being a little pussy, you know what I'm saying? Like, we really ain't standing up. We don't have no fight. We don't have the resilience and the tenacity that we should have in nothing, no areas in our life, including our relationships with our girlfriends, boyfriends, husbands, wives. Being a little pussy at the first signs of problem, the first signs of trouble, we ready to jump ship. Well, what happened to for better or for worse? And I hear a lot of people saying, well, you can't say this or you can't say that if you ain't her husband or her wife, his wife. Well, I think that it's a process, right? It's steps to this, right? And in order for me to want to marry a woman, then first she must be my lady, she must be my girlfriend, or we go through the courtship process, and you can label it what you want to. But it's all about, it's a proving process, right? Like, we going through these steps basically to prove to one another our loyalty for one another, our loyalty to one another, our love for one another, and how much we plan to promote each other. Like, grandma once told me something that I ain't catch on to right away, but later on in life I did. She said, a friend ain't a friend without a benefit. I was like, man, that sound mighty selfish. That sound like you trying to use somebody. That's gold digging. Little did I know, benefits don't always come in the form of materialistic things. And y'all done probably heard me say this before, because this is something that resonates well in my soul, because grandmama, a lot of things grandmama was telling me I wasn't really catching on right then, y'all. But the older I get, the more louder and clearer this stuff gets. And so I can't help but to keep reflecting on it and keep saying it, because I know that it's going to help somebody else, and hopefully they'll catch it and it'll land in their spirit and their mind, and it'll resonate a lot faster and a lot quicker than it took me before it, took root for me. And maybe you could just grasp the fruit of it all, chew it up and digest that thing, and now you're a better person, light years ahead of where I was when I first caught on, which gives you an advantage even amongst the disadvantage. And we need every advantage we can get, man. We already behind the 8. We losing. All y'all talking about we winning this and we winning that. Only somebody we can compete against is each other. Every other race of people already got miles ahead of us, got years ahead of us. Even some of the groups of people that have been set back just like we were, but not quite as much. And it hasn't been a devised plan against them going forward. Actually, there's been things put in place to help strengthen them. But there are other groups of people that have come from under those rocks, that have come from under those hardships. And they have actually grown and become some of the most powerful figures in this world. And that's because of resilience. That's because of unity, unification, man. They was able to come together, stick to their plan, devise the plan, conquer the plan. And now these are the fruits of their labor. They reaping the fruits of their labor. And we sit back and we cater to the fruits by adding more fruits, actually helping to build them up further by promoting these different incorporations, these different corporations that they have created. A lot of them, they're using black stories and black exploitation to ensue wealth, while my people just get to watch it on Tube 8 and laugh and make jokes about it, different things on Facebook pertaining to these movies, depicting us in one way. I haven't seen too many movies lately with black people in them on Wall Street. One of the best ones and the last one that I remember was In Pursuit of Happiness. And it didn't even delve too much into the man's lifestyle there after he had actually become a broker. It just showed you him going through his struggles more so than anything. But I love that movie because it actually shows a black man winning in the end. But a lot of these movies don't show that. A lot of these movies don't depict us being the conquerors that we are. And so that right there, in turn, tells my son and my daughters that they can't. When they don't see themselves in these different roles often enough, then they start feeling like they can't. See, that's the power in Tinseltown. That's the power in movies. That's the power in media. That's the power in Hollywood. Though it may be a movie or something that's not real, fictional, it still paints a real picture. and subliminally affects the minds that's capturing it. So anyway, I'm gonna leave y'all with that. If y'all have any questions, y'all please feel free to leave them in the comment section. If you have anything to add to this, any links, please feel free to drop the link in the comment section. Please, y'all keep it clean. No racism, no prejudice. I mean, I don't mind you being a little prejudiced sometimes, because that just means that you're not in agreement with everything, and that's me. I am a little prejudiced. Yep, I don't like some black people because they not good for black people. So I'm prejudiced against some black people. So it's just a war with the words. Anyway, I hope that each and every one of you all stay up, stay good, stay humble. You know what I always say. Y'all stay up, stay humble, stay good people. I'm a determined black man till the next time.
I'm a determined black man, John J.
That's my son, y'all. He tripping out with me too. And maybe next time I get a little more time, let him grace the mic. So once again, if you hadn't already done so, please hit that like button if you enjoy content like this. Also hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified every time that I drop any hot new content to this channel. And if you hadn't already subscribed to this channel, be sure to subscribe. This is a Black First channel. I am not racist. I am not trying to incite racism by no means. I am a humanitarian, and I promote humanitarianism and a true democracy, true freedom, and that's what I'm fighting for. If you fighting for that, drop a like, leave a comment, and we'll get back with you on the next video. I am a determined black man. Y'all stay up, stay humble, stay good people. Until the next time, I'm out. 1.